for contrast and to try out the predefined views. If we were to go through the parts, then this would be most functional with just the single. So if I insert the model and create one part per file, and then set it so it came in okay, but would really like to see maybe the top view, and then it rotates around. So once again, it moved. So I'm going to have to watch that and get that saved back to the sheet format at some point. Okay, and I would still need the section view, so that one can be deleted. And we'll go to the drawing, do the section view, hit OK, and add that back in. And then one quick note, side note, is the reason that we're always drilling a little bit deeper than the number of threads that we need is that depending on the tap geometry, tapered tap will get engaged into the hole and have a better chance of centering, and we'll have 8 to 10 threads. So depending on the pitch, you could lose up to a quarter of an inch maybe of usable threads that as this tapers down, you're not going to have complete threads to the bottom. Then the plug tap with 3 to 5, and then the bottoming tap with only 1 to 2 if we needed to go all the way to the bottom of that hole would be the tap of choice. So one of the things that happens though is this is going to require the least pressure to get started because of the leads and the number of thread that it's cutting as it turns. It's going to require less pressure. Plug a little bit more, but the bottoming tap, if you start with one of these and then chase it and then chase it, but these are also assuming that this is a hand tapping process that we're going through. If it's a machine tool, we're probably going to use the plug tap to get the tool engaged. So at this point, I would, for my first pass, or even go ahead and do the complete dimensioning, and then save. And then this picked up the name of the part, so base chamber, and then a new predefined. And this time I'll go ahead and make it per standard. And then we'll insert for the model for the gasket. And there again, we're having to change the direction, but that looks pretty good. All right, and then we could go through and save, and it's going to pick up the name of the part again. And then a new. And we can browse, and it's still going back to notes, so obviously that's been saved with the sheet format. So definitely we'll change that and then update for the geometry to come in with the correct layers. And then lastly, the cover plate. All right, so kind of the assumption is that we're going to be in the front view most of the time, but for our purposes, we can go through relatively quick and save these, having these individual parts. Now, as I mentioned in one of the previous videos, the downside is that I'm going to have to open up each of these parts to perform the print, and then go through the process of each file individually being updated. All right, so again, just for a quick contrast to the making a multi-drawing or multi-sheet drawing.